My name is Ryan Michael, and welcome to my channel, the RMC Files. Anyway, so for those who don't know me, my name is Ryan. Some people call me Chavi, some people call me Chavito. My last name is Chavez. So I got some stories I'm going to tell about my past and about the craziness that I've been through, the stuff that I put myself through growing up, and the lessons that I had to learn, the tough lessons that I had to learn along the way. So stay tuned for some great stories. Get yourself some nice tea, some a beer out of the fridge, some coffee, whatever you need to get yourself to make yourself feel comfortable, because I'm about to go over some amazing stories, and you don't want to miss this. So back in the day, we used to go to a lot of music festivals and raves and massives, they would call them. They're still called massives in my book, but massive is just exactly what it sounds like. It's a massive um, rave electric dance music festival that they have at they used to have at the LA Sports Arena, the Coliseum. I mean, anywhere they throw huge festivals, they'll have massive. So we used to go to massives all the time. Me and Serenity's mom, Melissa, we used to go to massives a lot. We'd go to Electric Daisy Carnival before it was in Vegas. Before it came to Vegas, it was in California, and they used to hold it in San Bernardino. And all the time we go to Electric Daisy Carnival. Well, we went to probably about 4 years, I guess you could say. It was when it wasn't as big. I mean, it was big, but now it's friggin' huge. It's like insanely, ridiculously huge. I haven't been to the ones in Vegas, surprisingly enough, and I live like 30 minutes away. So, but I need lots of people that would come to our house every weekend or every day. But we'd have little roll parties at our house on the weekend. We'd um, roll out, have a good ass time, thizzle up, I guess, whatever you want to call it. I don't really use that word, but um, fizzling is taking ecstasy, I guess you could say. I'm just gonna be honest. This is what I'm telling these stories for. I want to be honest about everything. So, but yeah, we used to take that. We'd take it too much. We took ecstasy too much. Me and Melissa, um, which will bring me to my next topic. How I got hooked on OxyContin, and it has something to do with me rolling on ecstasy. So stay tuned for that. All right, so I'm gonna get into the first time that I tried OxyContin, because it's around the same time that I'm talking about, time frame that I'm talking about. So we were, as I was saying, that we used to have roll parties at our house a lot. We would have friends come over, usually people that just wanted rolls, and they'd come over and they wouldn't have much place to take them, so they would ask to roll at our house, and Melissa was more than happy to have a roll party. She used to have two bags. They were called her roll bags, and she had these two big old bags with pacifiers in it, like freaking everything you could imagine: lights, finger lights, gloves, Vicks, face masks, everything you could imagine for a raver. They were her roll bags. Her roll bags. I guess that had a lot to do with why I fell in love with her as well. She knew how to throw a party. She knew how to make me feel good. She knew how to make other people feel good, and she was the life of the party. And we were a team, and I loved her. We had our times. I still love her and I respect her to this day, but we are definitely not together. And she has other kids with somebody else, and they're living their life. But I respect her. Anyway, we were taking pills one night. Actually, everybody else was. I didn't want to roll that night. I didn't want to take pills that night, and Melissa ended up talking me into it anyway. And I don't know about you, but so everybody has serotonin in their head naturally, and ecstasy, that's what it does. It'll drain all your serotonin at once, and serotonin is your happiness. That's when you're happy. It's the best way for me to describe it. It's all your happiness. So it's like when you take ecstasy, it releases your serotonin, which releases all your happiness at once. That's one of the reasons why you feel so good. But if you take ecstasy a lot and quite often, and if you keep doing that, your serotonin levels will pretty much go away, and you will not have any serotonin left in your head. Therefore, you will not feel the effect of what you're doing and is taking ecstasy. And you don't feel it. You don't, I mean, you end up more depressed. It can be dangerous. You end up in a like a depressive state, really bad depressive state, and when there's nothing there to drain, it's like it's very bad for you. So um, that's what was going on this night with me. I did not feel like I wanted to have fun. I was tired of partying every weekend. I just needed a break. I felt like not a break from my girlfriend or anything. I needed a break from just partying every weekend and taking ecstasy every weekend. Having these crazy nights with my girl, and it was wild times, man. It was some of the times in my life, and I'm glad I survived, but I'm glad I had a young 17, well, actually 18-year-old heart that survived through it all. But I had a lot of good times, and let's just say Melissa was very experienced in many different ways and many different categories, as including raving, partying, and having a good time and making people feel good. So, anyways, we my brother was over that night, and he had already been getting from the guy he got his weed from. His buddy would his buddy was on OxyContin himself, and I never even heard. This is back in 2004, and I just heard. The only name that I heard is that it was hillbilly heroin. That's like there was news articles saying that OxyContin was hillbilly heroin. That's what they were calling it, hillbilly heroin, and that's all I had heard. Which still, at the time, heroin to me, there was no way I was ever even get anywhere near that. That that sounded gross to me. There was no way. I had barely just tried cocaine. I had barely just tried ecstasy at that time, and that's what I was saying. I was getting tired of taking it because it had been like a year straight of just partying, like nonstop partying, and this was before I wasn't educated. I didn't know about the vitamins you could take, 5-HTP, or it was around the same time that I found out you could take 5-HTP vitamins, and that helps restore the serotonin in your head, and that way you can get back to normal after having a long night of partying. So we were taking that and stuff at the time, but I remember I did not feel good that night. I just was not happy. I was depressed. It didn't feel good, and I expressed this to my brother when I was out on my porch, and let him know how I felt. And I told him that I just didn't want to be doing this that night. I didn't want everybody over there. I told him I didn't care that he was there because I mean it's my brother. I was expressing my feelings to him, and genuinely expressing my feelings to him. And he told me, hey, he's like, you want to try this? I seen him. He was snorting stuff that night, lines of white stuff. I was not feeling myself on ecstasy, and I just wasn't feeling myself. And my brother tells me, try some of this. This will make you feel better. Mind you, my brother wasn't taking. He didn't. He's the only one that didn't take ecstasy that night. He wasn't rolling. So I was thinking in my head, okay, maybe there's a reason he's not rolling. So I was like, oh, screw it, I'll try it. So I snorted a lime. I felt instantly better, way better, from rolling. The rolling kind of snapped me out a little bit, but I felt instantly better. I was chill. My anxiety went away. Everything that was on my mind went away. I felt instantly better. Shortly after that, I got sick and I threw up, and that wasn't a pleasant experience. But
I never thought that I'd try heroin. I had dreams and goals and ambitions. Doesn't everybody look up to their older brother? I don't know, what would you do?
please like, comment, and subscribe.